We're live. Did we do it? Did we do it? It's been so much technicality stuff today, everybody. It's been a rough one. I spent a lot of time on the phone today. Not fun. And then I had some issues with internet provider. Have you ever gone through that? Not fun. And while I kind of wanted to sit here and bash this internet service provider for half an hour, instead, we're going to be sewing some Barbie clothes. So, here's where we left off. Last time, we decorated the front and back yokes with some decorative stitching. I'm using this gorgeous New Home Memory Craft 7000 machine. It is amazing! So what we're going to be working on today, my friends, is popping in the collar here. This is the back of the shirt. These are the front parts, and so this collar is going to go right in here. And I'm a little bit nervous about it, as per usual, because this collar is kind of little. It's a little small, and so I think the way we're going to start this is right sides together. I'm going to sew a stitch here at a 1/4 inch seam allowance and here at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Where we go from there, I'm not quite sure yet, but let's dive in. Dun, 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 dun. Memory Craft 7000 by New Home. This machine is amazing. Let's power her on. Okie dokie, so let's set our width to 0 and our stitch length. I'm going to use my little cheat sheet here. We could probably do 13 stitches per inch, so 2 millimeters. Make that a little shorter there. And let's take a peek at what is in store for this collar. How's the lighting? Pretty good, reasonable, fair, mediocre? At this point, guys, it's the best I can get it. All right, so this is going to be a little bit confusing because seam allowance. So what did I say? We're doing a 1/4 inch, and that would be, so I'm actually going to cheat a little bit here. 1/4 inch is right here. And when I put my presser foot down, maybe you can see and maybe you can't, that when this needle is on the left here, and this thing on the bobbin cover is 1/4 inch, which is right here, 2/8 is 1/4. We're kind of lining up with, what are we lining up with on here? It's a little tough to see, but we're kind of like, there's not really a good marker, is there? All right, we're aiming for this point right here, or that point right there. So it's kind of, I'm just going to kind of memorize that point. And we're probably going to be a little bit off. And I don't give a F today. We are just sewing. We are sewing because we need to sew. All right, so let me get this presser foot down. Let me get to where about a 1/4 inch may or may not be. And let's start sewing. Oh boy, what is happening? Well, okay. I'm not sure what happened. Let's try it again. Good, we're in business. Oh, this machine is so nice, isn't it? Oh, I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. All right, so here is our first little 1/4 inch seam allowance for one end of the collar. Let's get the other one sewn up. And you might notice I didn't backstitch. Probably would have been nice if I did, but I'm still kind of figuring out this machine. Pretty sure there's a red button here that has like a loopy arrow on it. I don't know if they call it backstitch per se, but I think that is to kind of lock the stitch. But I just don't feel confident yet in using it, so I've been kind of skipping it. And it's not always good to skip your backstitch, but hey, that's life. Okie dokie. We've got the two ends of our collar sewn up. So now we're going to flip it, right? Oh, well, we want to have a nice point at each ends of this collar, and I feel like it's probably important for me to get a couple more stitches in here and a couple more in here. So let me think about how I can do that without necessarily wanting to backstitch or lock the stitch in, because I'm a scaredy. I'm a scaredy cat. Well, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to just kind of, well, I mean, there is one thing I could try. It's not my favorite approach, but let me see if I have, it would require a needle. So what I think I'm going to do, and y'all are not going to want to watch this because it's going to be painful to watch and it's going to be painful for me to do. I'm going to try and thread this freaking tiny ass, excuse my language, tiny freaking needle hole. And I honestly don't even think I can do it. I think I gotta let this go to, ooh, nope. I thought I got it and I didn't. We're gonna have to let it go, guys. We're not gonna have a pointy collar. We're just gonna have a collar. So instead of trying to remedy it, I'm taking these pins out and we're gonna just trim down. Our seam allowance is so tiny already, but let's trim that down even more. And then I'm kind of tempted just to tie a knot in this. It's not going to do anything, but you know how much I hate pinching? But every now and then, you gotta pinch. And it's just not my favorite activity because my thumbs are no good. Well, let's see if we can, nope. I'm falling a little short today, friends. It's not surprising. What do you do when you fall short of your goal? Do you keep at it, or do you take a break? Or do you just say, F it and run? I prefer to kind of like sometimes take a deep breath, sometimes just, I don't really do this a lot, but every now and then I'll like throw it across the room. And my usual way of going about it is like, okay, I'm exhausted or I'm frustrated or I'm tired. Let's take a break. Because I don't know if I can express how meaningful it is to me, to my brain, to my body, when I take a break. It's a really good thing. All right, so let's take a look at what we get after we flip this collar. We're now going to be closed up on 3 different sides of the collar. And so we're going to just poke that little corner through, poke this other little corner through, get it as pointy as I can, and it's really not that bad. It would be nice if I could press this a little bit, but I don't have a tiny little iron right now that would make that easier for me. Look at our little collar, it's so cute. So now what we gotta do here, well, it would have been nice if I had, we're already losing a seam. Oh boy, this is all coming out, isn't it? That's what happens when you don't backstitch, gang. All right, we're actually joining the backstitch club right now because otherwise we're gonna have a collar that's falling apart, and there's no place for falling apart collars in this house. All right, here we go. So let's try doing, I think that just locked it, so that's good. Now let's go the other, we're gonna go a little further and then lock it at the end. Lock it and drop it and lock it. Okay, I'm gonna do a lock stitch. Yes, it worked. All right, so I'm gaining some confidence on my lock stitch. Is that what it's called? What do you guys call this little thing? I used to call it a back stitch on my machines that are not electronic. But I feel like with these electronic machines, it's like a little fancier than that because it's really like locking it in. It's a little bit, I don't know, like more modern, I guess, than a back stitch, because back stitch is like so 1960s. I was just kidding with you. Okay, so this looks good. Looks much better. I'm really tempted to like poke my little scissors in there to get the corner to pop out, but I don't think I'm gonna risk it. Biscuit. How to use machine? That's a great question. So this machine is a Memorycraft 7000. It's an electronic sewing machine. And look at how pretty it is. Oh my gosh. It's got so many different stitches that you can do. Let me show you the top view. I can open it, which I cannot. Okay, take my word for it. It's got a million fancy, amazing stitches. And right now we're just doing a straight stitch. But in order to get the machine to work, it's got a foot pedal down on the floor. And I just press on that after lining up my fabric where I want the seam to be. And then we start sewing. Does that answer the question? How to use machine? I hope so. Because I did not know how to use a sewing machine 16 months ago. I had no clue. So look at, this is something cool I can do. I could push this button. It's going to sink the needle. Ready? Look it. We are sunk. Now, I'm going to push that little red button and back stitch or lock stitch or whatever it's called. Now I'm going to go down and just redo this whole seam. And then at the end here, lock stitch again. Perfect. So yeah, I kind of had to do that twice, and that was a little bit annoying, but look, I'm really getting the hang of it now, aren't I? Okay, flip the other side of the collar, and now comes the tricky part of putting the collar on the top. So if any of you do sew, let me know if you sew human clothes or doll clothes, because these doll clothes have some advantages to them. I like that when I'm cutting the fabric, it's a lot easier and smaller, but I don't like that I have to be so precise when I'm sewing these tiny little seams. Look at how cute our little collar is. Oh my gosh, it's so tiny, you guys. It measures a little over 3 inches. Very, very cute and tiny. So now let's get our blouse over here. And let's do this. We're going to line up right side to right side on the outside of the blouse, one edge of this collar. And we're going to be sewing around this neckline. It's going to be tricky because we're going to be sewing a curve. Now, the other thing that's going to be a little bit tricky with this is once it's done, right? We're going to have, oh, this is just the other sleeve that's pinned on there. Don't mind that. This is the back of the top right here. I am sewing a little baby blouse for Barbie. It's a Western blouse. This is the back of it. It's got a nice little design on there. This is the collar, and we're going to be attaching that next. So basically what we need to do is find the center of this collar, take this one side of it, line it up with the center, and then this is where I'm a little bit concerned, okay? These front parts of the blouse are going to be folded under like this, and then they're actually going to have snaps on them. But we need the collar edge to be flush with the shirt right there. So, yeah. Do we do the collar first, or do we have to do that first? Let me pin it, and then we'll take a closer look. So if we mark the half, are we back? Are we back? Are we connected? I don't think we are. Can y'all see me? I apologize. There's been some intermittent internet issues going on. Thanks for hanging in with me. So let's get our center back. Oh gosh, I don't know how even this is. I feel like this is center back right here. If I go by lining up the armholes with each other. All right, and we'll put a little snip here and center back for the neckline. Tiniest little snip, because we're only doing 1/4 inch seam allowances. So freaking tiny. All right, so let's get these guys lined up. Right there is where we want it. So I can pin this. And then let's pop on over. See, this is going to be really hard. So anytime you're sewing a curve, right, they're kind of fighting each other, because think about it. The fabric up here is shorter than the fabric where you're actually sewing this seam. So it can be a little bit finicky. Now, it looks like we're going to want this collar. Well, no, is that even how we want it? I mean, I was thinking that on a traditional button-down blouse, right, the edge of the collar stand is going to be flush with the front of your, what's this thing called? Your button placket, basically. So if we do this, I mean, I'm kind of just tempted to start in the middle and then sew over here and just stop when we get there. I think that's going to work, because then what we're going to do after that is this is going to get folded under, and then we're going to close it up on the other side. All right, and we may need to fiddle around with this a little bit. I don't know. I really don't know. Hello, Nimbus Dragons. Glad you're here. Thanks for watching. All right, let's get this going, and I'm going to need more pins for sure. We're going to, at the very least, have to pin this other side over here. And I think, can y'all still see what I'm doing? Nope. All right, let me know if you have any trouble seeing what I'm up to. So this needs to be opened up like that. And this is going to get a pin right there. Right here. And then the next final pin is going to be, well, we're actually not going to be able to do that until the end. I'm probably just going to be like fiddling them with this as I go. A lot of people hand sew their doll clothes, and I can totally see why. Because this stuff is not easy, right? All right, so let me sink my needle. And let me put my presser foot down, because that's always helpful. Let me get you. Okay, cool. Let me just return a text real quick. Okay, cool. So let's start sewing once again. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go super duper duper slow, because like I said, this is a curved seam, and like it's just I don't even, can I hand crank? Oh, yes, I can. No, can I? Yeah, I can. All right, so I'm actually just going to hand crank this. I think that's okay for this machine. I don't really know, guys. I don't really know. Can you see what I'm doing? Is it a little out of focus, or is it okay? I think it's okay. All right, let's keep going. All right, now I'm going to take this pin out because I feel like I'm risking it getting caught underneath the presser foot. And we also need to get this tiniest little curve. Uh-oh. I'm stuck on something. Oh, that was weird. That just sounded like a dog barking. I don't think it was. Okay, I got it. Woohoo! Now, oh boy. My needle's down, so let me lift up my presser foot real quick and try to kind of adjust this, open and out, and curve it around. Oh my goodness, not easy. I think we're good though. Let's get the presser foot. Well, we're not good, but we're okay. I'll settle for okay, I think. Just need to make sure that there's no wrinkles or puckers in here. That's not easy with these tiny little things. All right, let's try it again. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't see anymore. Should I lock it? Probably. I think I locked it. All right. Let's see how this looks. Needle up. Oh, wow. I'm pretty freaking happy with this. Let me show you guys. Let me show you how that turned out. Not bad at all, huh? Let's take a look from the other side. Wait a minute. What did I do? Oh no, we're good, we're good. Okay, so this is, oh my gosh, I can't even figure out what I'm looking at right now. This is the collar. This is the back of the neck. This is what we sewed. So, I think that looks pretty good to me. Now we're gonna keep going around to do the other side of the collar. Thank you for the thumbs up. I do have a new sewing machine. This is from my friend, and it is amazing. I'll give you a look at the Memory Craft 7000 by New Home. Basically, this is like a Janome, and I don't know what year it's from, but can we just talk about these decorative stitches? Oh my gosh, it does embroidery. It is freaking awesome. I love this machine so much. And don't tell the dirty girls that. I mean, of course, I still love Dirty Gertie. I still love Dirty Diana. But oh my gosh, there's something to be said for modernity and for electronics. And yeah, it took a little bit of work to get her going, but I mean, we were learning together because previously I'd only sewn on machines that are like from the 50s and 60s. And this girl's quite a bit younger, so she's got some pep in her step that I still learning the ways, but we're doing great. She's been having a lot of fun, and so have I. All right, so now I'm trying to think about how to do this other side over here. Felt like that first one went so well that I'm kind of destined to fail on the second go around. But no, maybe we're okay. Let me throw a pin in right here, because I think that's what I did, right around where this where the seam is for connecting the front and the back. I put a pin right in there. Where did my pins go? There it is. So let's get one right here. And how did I do it before? I think I had the collar facing up, right? So let's do it the same way. I actually kind of already have a pin in here that I might take out, because you're just in the wrong spot now, it feels like. All right, so let's give that a go, and I'm just going to sew not too far, and then I'll get that pin out. Shoot, did I mess something up? Yeah, I already messed something up. Let me get a do-over. This is going to go like that. It's going to be open face. All right, so now we can pin right here and right here. And that should do it for us. Pinning is half the battle, isn't it? You can't skimp on your pins. All right, now the other half of the battle is seeing, because right now I can't see what the flip I'm doing. And I don't even know if I can get this under here, under there, under where? Uh-oh, my seam's already kind of ripping out over there. I thought I blocked that in. I guess I didn't. Okay, having all kinds of problems with my flipping fingers. And that's kind of a common thing. All right, I think, oh my gosh, I think we're gonna just have to do it this way, because otherwise I can't see a darn thing. And now I'm also quite concerned about this pin being down here, 'cause I feel like I'm gonna get stuck on that pin. But what choice do we have, huh? Not much. Let's drop this presser foot right here. I think is pretty good. And oh my gosh, I can't even see what I'm doing. Wow. Thank you all for being so patient with me, and thank you for the thumbs up because it's kind of a rough day. I'm going to be honest. All right, let's see what we can do. I'm going to go so slow, and I am going to start by locking the stitch in. All right, we're locked. So now if we have to seam rip, it'll make it really hard. I'm going to go so slow, so slow. I feel like I'm way further than a 1/4 inch seam allowance right now, but hey, doing my best. It's all you can do sometimes. Just do your best. And now I feel like it's ending there. Oops. Oh my gosh, I did not mean to do that. I meant to backstitch and I hit the needle up. So let's just needle down, lock it in. Oh, oh, oh. All right. Not quite sure what happened there. Needle up, and how do we look here? Oh my gosh, I think we look okay. Well, could be better, but let's get an accurate appraisal here. Tell me what you all think. That's where the first stitch was. That's where the second one was. Yeah, let me get this pin out of here. So when we flip the collar up, it's going to look a little functified right there because we kind of have two different seam allowances going on. So, I mean, overall, not bad, not bad. But we still have to address these overhang guys. And I also need to figure out, I think I'm just going to go back in here and kind of connect these seams. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I don't want to have a ragged neckline. I want Barbie to have a collar she can pop and be proud of. Oh my gosh, I like nothing more than a popped collar. Is anyone else a fan? Oh my gosh, any polo shirt, any button down with a popped collar, I'm just like, pop it, pop it. It is such a striking look. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't even know why collars get folded down. Anybody who wears them down, my hat's off to you, but that is not my look. It's better to pop them, in my opinion. All right, it's just my personal preference. All right, so I'm kind of just gonna, guys, I'm kind of just being a crazy person today, but let's get this needle down. And honestly, that's honestly not even where I want it, but hey, let's just roll with it again. All right, I locked that stitch, didn't I? Now, I just want to make sure that my bottom of my collar isn't going to get stitched. And let's just kind of try to connect these stitch lines. I don't even think I was close. It's really hard to see tonight. I mean, yeah, that wasn't really it. Can you guys see what I did? We're still off here. We're gapping. I don't want to gap like that. But on the other hand, I mean, let's take a look at what the reality is. It's really not too bad, is it? It is not too bad. Up, a little bit of a pucker there. That's unfortunate. Okay, guys, I feel like I've spent enough time on the collar, and we're going to be moving on to getting it. So basically how this is going to go, and this is so tough because it's such tiny seam allowances, but this is going to get folded under here. And this seam allowance that we have from the front of the collar, it's going to go like up and under like that. And then this is going to overlap. And we're going to go back around and we're going to do what's called stitch the ditch. So I'm going to go right in here in between where that stitch line is. And that's going to go through all those layers of fabric, and that's going to lock the collar in from the other side. So again, if I had a little baby iron, that would make this part of the job a little bit easier. But I don't have that available to me. So I'm trying to figure out, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these seams first. So for both of these, we're going to do a, it'd be nice if I had an iron. We're going to hand press about 1/8 of an inch under here. And this is where our snaps are going to go. And we're going to press another about 1/8 of an inch, and that gives us a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And that's going to pretty much, hopefully, line up with this. Look good to you guys? I think so. Let me see. Yeah, that'll just be like that. That'll look good. All right, so that's going to be going like this. That's going to be for both sides. I don't know if I mentioned at the top here, but there are instructions for this pattern. This is from 1963. It's a vintage McCalls, licensed by Mattel pattern for Barbie dolls. And because I'm staying here at my friend's house, I didn't bring the instructions with me. I only brought the cut pieces of fabric. So I'm kind of winging it, and I think I'm doing okay. All right, so let's get this. Do I really want to do this right now? I think I do. Could someone encourage me or tell me to stop? Cease and desist. Whoops. I'm just thinking the only reason why I might not want to do it is because I'm going to be sewing on the buttons. And let me see, actually, let me grab the pattern real quick. Because I brought the pattern pieces with me, and that might give us some good clues. So here's the shirt front, right? And it's going to get 3 snaps. And this is saying turn here. That's interesting, because this is quite a bit further than what I, let me measure this. This turn here line is actually, oh my gosh, that's at about, no, I was looking at the wrong one. The turn here line on the pattern is at, oh my gosh, that's a weird, it's like not quite 1/2 an inch and not quite 3/8 of an inch. 5/16. Why are they making it so hard? If we turn it here, that's a lot. And they, oh, so maybe, okay, let's do it like this, you guys. I don't think that they're doing like a closed seam. Oh no, they are. You guys, we might be good. So here, what they're doing is 1/4 inch under, and then turn here and then sew. So I just want to make sure that my final width here, this is the shirt front, is going to be the same width that it is on the pattern. And we're like, oh, you know what? I can't even do that because look, we have a dart here that's taken off some width as well. Well, that part's pretty good. Let's just roll with it. Let's just roll with it. And I do not recommend guessing on your seam allowances, guys. But I'm going to be a risk taker. Risky business, everybody. Risky business. All right, let's sink this needle. And I'm going to do a little loop-de-loop-de locky. Locky-loady. And let's back stitch at the end. good. Very, very good. Nice. Oh, that's a nice looking seam there. I was almost coming off at the end here, but look at, oh, that's nice. I'll take it. I'm using contrasting thread here because I didn't have any red thread. So that's the reason for that, but I'm happy enough with this. Okay, so we got that side. Let's do the other one, gang. And, well, we all know, or maybe we don't all know, that a woman's blouse buttons so that the, oh my goodness, what front, is it the left side of the front or the right side of the front that goes on top? If anybody can tune in and chat, let me know, because I'm having trouble remembering. All right, how does this look? A little bit weird. Hang on a sec. There it is. Yeah, I think that looks good enough. Once we put that under, we're gonna be good. All right, so once again, I'm just kind of eyeballing. What did I say that total ended up being? 5? No, it was in between 5/8 and 3/8 or something. Oh my fingers are struggling. Let me get this out of here real quick. Let me actually press these down pretty good. Make it easier for myself. This actually seems like it's going to be too narrow. Kind of doing only like a, there, that should be good there. I'm almost tempted to make that a little bit wider, but I think we'll be good. As long as I'm very close to the edge, which I was on the first side, I think we'll be okay. It might be nice to throw a pin in here, but let's see if we can do without. It's tricky. It's tricky. I think I can get it though. All right, so now basically, let me move this over. You know what, let me just do it one more time up here and get it like really pressed good because it's kind of coming out from where I want it. That should be good. Okay. Thank you everybody for the thumbs up. I'm so glad you're here hanging out with me. And I apologize, I had to delay the broadcast a couple of times due to some technical issues, but it seems like we're back on track now. Thank goodness. I really needed to get some sewing in today. I really need this, you guys. You have no idea how badly I need some sanity in my life. It's been a crazy day. Not so bad, though. All right, let's get sewing. Needle down. Back stitch. Back stitch, lock stitch. Get this seam allowance folded under once and for all. Keep it there. And now let's sew this other front seam. I feel like I'm getting narrower down here and I don't like that, so let's try to fix it. And we don't want to have a crooked front to our blouse. We want to be nice and straight. Ah! Okay, let's stop there and let's back stitch or lock stitch. Okay, gang. See how we did. Oh, I love this machine. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, I'm gonna just cut that right there. And let's see how we look on both sides. Oh my gosh, looks pretty good to me. I'll pull you guys back a little bit to take a look. All right, what do we think? We got a collar that's not quite finished. And then we have our two fronts that are going to be overlapping and buttoning up. Like, I'm having trouble here. Kind of like so. I think that's going to be more or less what we're looking at. We might need to make, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not really pointing you in the right direction. We might need to make one of these a little bit, I don't know, maybe they both need to go a little bit narrower. Let's worry about that later. I want to finish the collar up. Okay, so once again, It'd be nice to press, but in the absence of a tiny little iron, we're just gonna snip these threads out of the way. And I'm gonna kind of hand press that seam allowance from the first side of the collar I stitched on. Hand press that up and away. And then I'm gonna try to do like a, well, it's gonna be again a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So let me kind of do a hand press of about a 1/4 inch. Then we're gonna do the flipperoo here. That's not fabulous, but that'll work. And I do feel like I need to get some pins in here, otherwise I'm gonna make a mess. So let's see. This is gonna be stitch in the ditch. I don't know where all these threads are coming from. All right, so we're gonna be stitching from this direction. And the important thing is to get the collar trapped. It's got to be long enough, in other words. So see where these stitches are? This thing has to be longer than that. Otherwise, we're not going to trap it, and that will be a mess. So hopefully we'll get it right the first time. And boy, this is tough with such small pieces of fabric, isn't it? Okay, let's get another needle in right here. Oh my gosh, I think I got it. Yep. Looking good, looking good. And now this next section would be right here. Also looking good, looking good. I swear the pinning is like the hardest part of sewing for me. I really do think it is. Cutting is hard too. All right, now I'm not loving this edge of the color, but I do like it, so fine with that. Now this will be our last pin right about here, and I feel like that needs to go a little lower. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're, oh my gosh, this looks like a mess. Oh, no problem, Michelle. Glad you made it. Michelle's Crafts and More is an amazing moderator. And I had to switch the time, so it's probably mostly on me. I was planning to do this earlier and had some technical issues. Okay, so this collar is not going to be perfect, but it's going to be a collar. And let's see, y'all. I'm excited that you're going to that live, Michelle. That should be fun. Can I try to just pinch that a little bit more? Okay. Guys, I don't feel too good about this, but let's see how we do. Get that down there. Trying to find the seam. Where's the ditch? I need to get in the ditch. All right, so sink it. Lock stitch. Oh boy. Now, I don't always recommend this to people, and I'm feeling really risky doing this on a machine that doesn't belong to me, but we're going to sew over. No, we're not going to sew over our pins. I'm too scared. I'm too scared. Never mind, I never said that. All right, well, we are going to have trouble getting our pins out before we sew over them. Let's see if I can manage. All right, I think so. We're going to get a pucker here. Let's cross our fingers we don't get any puckers. Oh my gosh, you guys, this stuff is so tiny and delicate. It's kind of insane. I'm not even sure where I'm sewing. I'm just kind of trying to do it by feel. You can't see anything I'm doing. My hands are huge compared to this project. I've got like monster hands. All right, so let's keep going. I don't know what's happening. Oh my gosh, a pin just fell, but I didn't sew over any, so that's good. All right, this is the last little bit here. Don't rush it. Oh my gosh. I hope we got it. And let's back stitch, lock stitch. Okay. Cross your fingers. I could really use a win. Oh my gosh, I think it looks pretty good. Let me show you guys. Let me show you. Wow. All right, well, it's not the best ditch I've ever stitched, but let's bear in mind we're also using contrasting thread, and this is the part that matters. So we missed a little here at the end. We'll have to go back and redo. Everything here got caught, and everything there got caught. So I'm not too terribly disappointed. This lock stitch stuff is kind of weird though. Is that what a lock stitch is supposed to look like, or did something go wrong? Anyway. Okay, let's just redo this one part here. And then, oh my gosh, should we try putting on the sleeves, you guys? I've been going for quite a while here. It's been 46 minutes. Thanks everybody who's sticking around. It's been a small crew tonight, and I'm grateful for that because, I tell you, I just had a day today. And it's nice to be doing a little bit of sewing with just a few friends. You are the ones that mean the most, my sewing buddies. Okay. Not the best, but not the worst. Now, I think this is locked, so let me just cut that. And I probably could tie this off if I wanted to. Or do I just want to cut it? I'm just going to cut it. Cutting all these threads out of the way. Oh wait, there's one more that I want to get right here. Clip. And this one I sewed partway through. That's just trapped in the middle of the collar. No problem. All right, so let me get this tiny little bit that I missed right here. And then we'll be done. I think I'm going to start, how am I going to do this? Oh my gosh, it's tricky. I'm just going to do it in this direction because I'm going to be able to see it a little better. And we're going to go like this, a little further than I think I need to go. Let's start sewing. All right, I think that was good. Not a great place to have a bunch of back stitches. But what can ya do? Okay, look, it's not perfect, but now we've got our collar fully in place. Oh my gosh, look at this cute tiny little collar we've got for Barbie's blouse. Now, what do we think about these sleeves? I think that probably going to make a mess of them. Oh my gosh, here, let's just zoom out and appreciate this for a minute. Oh my gosh. See, so a lot of times when you make a button-down shirt, you have a collar and you have a collar stand. And that collar stand is important to help get the collar basically to lay right. So this one does not have a collar stand. We've only got a collar. And, you know, it's going to be popped. So who cares? We don't need a stand. All right, so now let's talk about sleeves. So here's our first arm side, or sleeve hole opening. Now we've got some markings on here. There's 2 marks on one and 1 mark on the other. We're going to be doing right sides together. And I'll tell you what, this is so crazy because if you all have never sewn sleeves, let me show you what it's like. You're going to be sewing this to there, and you're going to be sewing this to there, and you're going to be sewing this to there. So basically you're sewing a curve that goes like that and a curve that goes like that. And it can be very tricky. So let me make sure that I'm in the right armhole. And basically we're checking that the front side has 1 notch and the back side has 2 notches, just like my sleeve has 1 notch and 2 notch. So let's get the notches lined up. I'm going to go right here for one of them. And ordinarily I would say, all right, let's line up center front, or not center front. Let's line up the center part of the sleeve. But I'm actually not gonna do that because, oh my gosh, I might need to do it that way. Look at how crazy this is, you guys. So this is lining up the notches on each end. Oh my gosh, this is so tiny. I can't believe I can machine stitch this at all. I really can't. So look it, we got one curve that's like pretty big, and we've got one that's basically curving the other way. So how do we get these guys to line up? That is going to be the trick. And I think we're going to be okay, but it's going to be tricky. So I'm going to kind of do what's called easing in. We're just going to have a little bit of ease right here. And we're not going to panic, and we're not going to say, oh my gosh, this is never going to work out. We're just going to put another pin right there. And we're probably going to have a little bit of a tough time sewing this. We're going to give it our best shot. All right, so let's get that lined up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Get that presser foot down without getting it jammed on my finger. That was tricky. Okay. Hey, you know what? I'm sorry the lighting isn't that good. I thought it looked better earlier. Okay, how's that look for you? Oh my gosh, I don't even think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. I gotta take it out, because look, we already lost our alignment. If I try to sew through that, I'm gonna be missing the whole point of it. I'm trying to remember, I know that there's a way to do this. You either put the sleeve on the top when you sew it, or you put the bodice on the top when you sew it, and frankly, I'm not sure which one is better. I'm probably going to be sewing through my sleeve like 8 million times. If it's not pinned right, it's not going to be sewn right. And guess what? I don't think I'm pinned right, but let's see what happens. Oh my gosh. None of this is going to be working out for me. Let's put the needle down. Oh my gosh, this is just a disaster, isn't it? I'm like sewing over the fabric, pushing it onto itself. I don't even think I'm getting through both layers right now. There is definitely a disaster underneath my presser foot. So I think I'm actually just going to pull this out right now before I make it worse. Disaster, disaster. All right, what did we do? Anything good? Oh my gosh, I don't even know what's happening right here. I don't even think I sewed through the fabric. I was doing something wrong, folks. Something was very, very wrong just then. Let me cut this thread out of here. And I might need to get a friend to hand sew that. Wait a minute, what the heck is this? I actually did sew through something. Oh my gosh, what is this? I'm gonna get these pins out for a second. Yeah, this is not counting as sewing. Oh, I'll get these stitches out and maybe I'll try it one more time. After that, I might need to enlist some help from a friend. Do you guys ever phone a friend when you're working on a sewing project and you're just like, all right, this part is beyond my capacity? I've done that a time or two. Okay, well, I was apparently trying to sew like a 1/32 inch seam allowance, and that didn't work out. I might consider putting some notches in here before sewing it. When you notch, it's going to allow you to spread that fabric out a little bit easier, which will help sew around the curve. But I don't know, friends. Should I give that a shot or what? I feel like everything's just falling apart. I don't even remember which armhole I was working on. Was it this one? Right sides together, one notch. Yeah, it was this one. All right, so now that I've like destroyed my edge of my fabric, I think I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna try sewing from the center, and I'm gonna try to, oh nice, we just got some bonus light. I don't know how or why that happened. Can you see better now, guys? Besides my hand being in your way. All right, let's give this a try. So this is about a 1/4 inch right there. Sink that needle. Guys, I can't do this. Are you freaking kidding me? There's like no way. Because the presser foot is like blocking me. All of this stuff is just so teeny tiny. Oh, that's not good. I'm twisting all the fabric now. I can't believe, how did I do this on Barbie's dress? Like, what was I doing that night that I actually was able to get the sleeve on the dress? I've got no idea. Because I don't think it's happening tonight. I just don't think it's happening tonight. I'm going to try one more approach, and then we're going to be calling in the hand sewers. So let me try pinning that there. And we're only going to do it 1/2 at a time. No, this is not going to work. This is just not going to work at all. Nope, nope, nope. But look at how cute it would be if it did work. Let's do this. Let's start sewing from here and then trying to ease it. No, because see what happens once, no, maybe this will work. This is my last ditch effort. Let's see. That's about a 1/4 inch seam allowance, I'd say. Sink it, lock it. Now let's sew it. We're just going to be going right around this corner, kind of like that. I'm way too close to the edge again, aren't I? Now we're going to try to do this, and then I'm going to lift my presser foot and kind of rearrange my fabric a little bit. I probably should do that now, but I felt like I had some good momentum. All right, let's get this up, and let's just pull this over as far as we can. Kind of like this. Wow, is this going to work at all? We'll find out. I feel like I just got a pucker. Not great. Uh-oh. I also think my thread is stuck on my presser foot. What the heck is this? I better just... Okay, that was just the tail end of my thread. Needles sunk. Lift this up again. If this is going to work, I'm going to be just absolutely astonished. Okay. I don't think it's working. I don't even think... Oh my gosh, what is happening now? Maybe it's gonna work out. I'm not sure, but let's keep going. Okay, this is like, get under there. You can do it, you can do it. All right, that's about as good as I can get it. Oh my gosh, fingers. Oh, okay. Let's do one more little finagle here. Yeah, I'm like way off track. That's okay. It's A for effort, I'd say. What do you guys think? Did I get an A for this nonsense? Oh my goodness. All right, let's get this needle up and see what we have for a sleeve. Oh my gosh, this is atrocious. I've never seen a nastier looking sleeve in my life. But let's see what you guys think. Where's the front? This is the front side. You know, could we live with this? Probably not, because look, we're like really off kilter. This should be aligned. And I can't even get my side seams to line up here. So this is what it would be like if we were to just kind of go with what we have, which honestly, I mean, Well, we don't even have a seam here. We've got like threads pulling through. Yeah, we didn't even really connect, did we? What happened here? I feel like I don't even have... Oh, I thought maybe I skipped stitches, but it's just my thread. Okay, I could probably redo this part. And then, I mean, if there's some extra... Hang on a sec. Can you guys still see me? My low battery came on. This part isn't great, but like, look at... Can we just close up this side seam and close up that sleeve and call it a night? Will I be upset with myself for not giving it my all? I don't know. I guess I could try one more time. I just want to fix that little place where it was going to pull through, because no one wants a hole in their sleeve, especially not Barbie. All right, I don't really know what I'm doing, but here we go. Uh-oh, that didn't sound good at all. I guess I'll lock stitch. Oh, that even sounded worse. I didn't have a pin hanging out. Oh my God, what is happening? I still have some bobbin thread left. That's not the issue. I think the issue is I'm tired AF and kind of just wondering why I didn't stop working on this 20 minutes ago. Just trying to get that little bit right there closed up. I'm not quite getting it. I don't know why I missed it this last time. Let's try one more time from like starting here. Okay. Wow. That's like really not where I wanted it. Backstitch again. Guys, I'm just putting random stitches in here and we're gonna see where it takes us. I'm like not even trying to follow any guidelines. We're just sewing it up. All right, I'll take it. So now let's see what we can do here on the other side. Oh no, is there a hole there too? Oh my gosh, this is like the hardest thing I think I've done in the past week. And I challenge myself a lot of times, so that's saying something. We're just gonna keep doing this until, oh my God, that was not good. Yeah, that was definitely not what I needed to do. Oh my gosh, that's gotta come out. So this is the point where I would say, like, you need to stop. S-T-O-P. You are so beyond what your energy level is, what your mental capacity allows. So I'm going to say goodbye, everybody. We did not finish Barbie's Western blouse today, but we still need to add some sleeves, and then we need to sew the side seams. And at that point, we're going to add some snaps, and we'll be ready for Barbie to try on her Western blouse. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you again either Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, or next Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. No, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. All right, take good care. Thanks for watching.